Now that we've all seen the brand new day trailer, we gotta yap about it a little bit. My boy has organic webbing. I really did not see this coming, but once I watched the trailer a few times and really sat with this, yeah, I guess it kind of makes sense. Throughout all of the movies he's been in, his powers have been slowly increasing, especially his spider sense. I don't know how many of you guys remember when Civil War first came out, but we were even arguing if he had it in the first place. Then you fast forward to Far From Home where he's actually mastering it, and then to No Way Home where he probably has the best spider sense feat we've ever seen. He has, low-key, been mutating this whole time, and now he's mutated to the point where he doesn't even need his web shooters. Looks like my goat is the only one that cannot make organic webbing. But on top of that, we got our first look at what could be Jean, and I got a theory. I know a lot of people are saying this is Jean Grey. I'm starting to think maybe they're gonna trick us into thinking it's Jean and it's actually Madelyne Pryor. Now the reason I think it may not be Jean is just because she seems a little more evil than any incarnation of Jean would be unless she was, I don't know, corrupted by the Phoenix Force. Especially with this cool scene here where she's like jumping through bodies or taking people over. Clearly she was using this elderly woman to drive this tank into what I'm assuming is a prison or something. I just can't see Jean doing something that cruel. Especially if the leaks are correct and she's unleashing the Hulk on the city. Even that seems a little too cruel for Jean, even if she is supposed to be the antagonist. But since Madelyne Pryor is technically Jean, that's just my theory. Maybe Jean is gonna have to clear her name after Madelyne Pryor does a bunch of really messed up stuff. And you know how the MCU loves to change things up. But I could be wrong and maybe it's just Jean. And not only do I think they might be tricking us with this, but I also think that this right here is when Peter's transformation begins. I think he's going through a lot when it comes to being Spider-Man full-time, and then it's been years without MJ and he sees she finally has another boyfriend. They probably kiss, and based on the pressures of his own superhero life and the misery of not being with the woman he loves for so long, it activates something in him and his mutation starts, and that's when we get all these cool web scenes. It really just seems like one scene is right after the other, but you guys can let me know. I also really like the difference when it comes to his emotional state and how he's gaining his abilities, because in Spider-Man 2, he was having more of an identity crisis, and because of this, he was losing his powers. Well, this time, it seems like with Tom Holland's Spider-Man, he's just struggling with everything. The pressure is getting to him, and it activates some kind of mutation in his body. And instead of losing his abilities, he only gets more powerful. And of course, we got to see Peter actually fighting Frank off, which I think is amazing because it looks like in this movie, Frank is gonna be some kind of a nuisance to Peter. He even already knows the guy by name. So I'm willing to bet Frank is around the city, kind of being way too violent, and Peter is constantly having to web him up, take his toys away, and go continue to save the city. And eventually, he's actually going to need the Punisher's help. I feel like he's gonna be in and out of the movie at least 3 times. Obviously here when they fight, here where he's speaking to someone he's calling Kid, although it could be Madelyne Pryor or Jean. And I feel like at some point he's gonna help Peter fight the Hand. I can just already see him blasting the Hand to pieces while Peter does his best to fight them off and stop Frank from killing. I definitely think the Punisher's gonna be a real fun part of this movie. But even with all that being said, I think my favorite aspect of this trailer is despite everything, I still don't really understand how things are gonna unfold. Why exactly is Jean or Madelyne Pryor doing all this? Will Peter continue to mutate after this movie? Will he gain even more abilities? And something I'm really interested in, what the hell's gonna happen with the Hulk? If she does take the Hulk and unleash him on the city, turning him back into Savage Hulk, will this stay? Will we finally get at least a few movies of Savage Hulk before he's officially out of the MCU? Either way, I'd love to know how you guys felt about the trailer. These are just my quick thoughts. I really love this trailer. I'm very excited for the movie. Although I do gotta say, and I'm probably in the minority here, somehow the Dune trailer actually hyped me up more, even though I definitely want to see Spider-Man more than Dune. Boy, that chant from Timmy Tim really made me want to follow him to the ends of the earth, even though I know Paul Atreides is definitely a villain. Either way, I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and I will catch you guys on the next one.